Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining me in another edition of your favorite show, the one, the only Reds View. Of course, I am your gracious host, Jay Red. Thank you for joining me again. Before I begin this video, make sure that you hit that like button or the dislike button to help the algorithm out. You know what I'm saying? Get some more traction, get some more people. And also make sure, if you have not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is going across your screen right now. YouTube.com/RedsView. All right, man. So we got to go ahead and get into this, man. The famous, legendary, iconic Denzel Washington, possibly my favorite actor of all time, favorite male actor of all time, Denzel Washington. Just about every movie he's been in, I loved. Loved his acting skills, studied the man. He encouraged me to get in. He's one of the inspirations behind me actually getting into film and acting as well, right? But Denzel, man, Denzel is going to be 70 pretty soon, 69 going on 70. And he's been making his rounds. Now, Denzel is in Gladiator 2 that comes out this Friday. And, you know, shout out to him doing that. But what we're going to talk about today is the whole bug breaking thing. Is Denzel being bug broken during his Hollywood exit? Is Denzel being bug broken during his Hollywood exit? See, it's weird stuff going on right now. In case you've been hiding under a rock, you didn't hear about Denzel Washington when he was asked on the red carpet. I believe that's what it was, some interview, right? Not red carpet, it was an interview. And the gentleman was interviewing him. And Gladiator 2 is a period piece, right? So we know back during that particular time, there was, you know, alternative lifestyles going on, and that was a part of the period piece. But Denzel said that he actually does the kiss of death, I want to say on the forehead, right? But he actually admitted that he did a kiss on the lips to another man. But they didn't keep the scene, they deleted it. So he admitted that he kissed another man on the lips. Now, it wasn't a sexual kiss. It wasn't a caressing kiss. I just heard from what he said, the kiss of death, right? So kissing him on the lips, but they took it out. Now, that sent a lot of people going crazy on the internet. I saw that all on Twitter and things like that, right? And although that is a period piece and that alternative lifestyle was going on during that time, and I heard more insight into his character. They were talking about he would, you know, have intercourse with anything, you know, not leaving it to just bisexuality, but, you know, an animal, whatever the case may be, right? So I'm listening to it and I'm hearing it. But it raised my antennas. It raised my antennas up because the reason everybody is tripping about this is because Denzel, there already is a stigma in Hollywood that they want a black man to wear dresses, right? They want to feminize a black man. We've seen that happen. Dave Chappelle came out and talked about it, even though he wore dresses back in the day. And you know, there have been famous roles, a lot of famous roles, a lot of famous movies with black men, you know, being feminine in dresses. When you think of TV shows, you think of Martin and Shanae, you know what I'm saying? Martin dressed up like his mother on the show. Also, you think of Eddie Murphy and Nutty Professor playing the grandma, playing the mom. You think of Martin Lawrence again when he's playing Big Mama's House, right? You think of Joanna Man, you think of all these movies that these men have been in. And it involves them like White Chicks with Marlon, you know, the Wayans brothers and stuff like that. You see all of this going on, and there is a stigma in Hollywood to where they like it's the feminization of the black man, which what we call is bug breaking, right? So the thing is with Denzel, he's been such this stand-up guy, right? He's been like one of the main guys in Hollywood that you've never pictured doing that. He was that one lucky one that got away without having to put a dress on, because some of the biggest box office draws have done either gay roles or like they've done roles where they wore dresses, like Wesley Snipes. What was that movie he was in with Patrick Swayze? I forgot the name of that, but he had a dress on, put on a wig, and you know, different things like that. Ving Rhames, you know, he played Holiday Heart. So we've seen this, and it is a thing. You know, nobody can tell you any different. Now, on the entertainment side, it has been entertaining. Like, you know, I loved watching Martin do Shanae, and I love watching Big Mama's House, and I love watching how an actor can be very diverse. It's still entertainment at the end of the day, but it's been addressed a lot. And it's not just about the feminization of black men, but it's also the controversy. You see what's going on with Diddy right now. Eddie Griffin said this. I want to say he said this on Vlad TV some years ago, maybe like 10 years ago now, that no black male in the entertainment, if you're wealthy, rich, super successful, especially in Hollywood, no black man walks away squeaky clean. Eddie Griffin said this. Eddie Griffin said back in the day, no black man is going to walk away squeaky clean. So we've upheld Denzel Washington, right? He's always played that stand-up guy, just so much admiration and respect for him, to where when he's admitted that he's doing something like this, it just kind of it's like, what? Why now? And I understand it's a period piece, but it's like, why now? Right? It feels like it, and this is just me figuratively speaking, if this is a part of having him have some type of feminization or any type of stuff when it comes to homosexuality, it's like, we're gonna you're about to retire, right? If when you're exiting Hollywood, we gotta let you do something. We gotta get you to do something. Even if you're not putting on a dress, we gotta at least get you to do something. You can't walk away. Like, because look at Will Smith, right? What was Will Smith's role to help get him in to Hollywood completely? He was already doing Fresh Prince, but his first major featured role, I forgot the name of his character, but it was in the 6 Degrees of Separation. So and then Martin, right? He wore dresses and different things like that. Jamie Foxx wore dresses. Just about every top star you could think of has worn a dress, played some type of gay role or something like that, outside of Denzel Washington and somebody like Samuel Jackson. Morris Chestnut as well, but Morris Chestnut is not no big action star. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in billions of dollars to the box office and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like those blockbuster movies. But when you look at that, it makes you raise your antennas, and it's just like, Denzel, you're doing all of this now. You're coming out and saying this, and it ain't too much. They said that they deleted it, but it still just makes us feel a certain type of way. All these years, he's been able to duck and dodge and avoid that. He was that prime example of, hey, you could be a successful black man in Hollywood and not have to put on a dress. Hey, you can be a successful black man in Hollywood and not have to play any homosexuality roles. Hey, you can be a black man in Hollywood and not be buck broken. But now, and I'm not sure if the scene was actually deleted or, I'm sure it's in the archive somewhere, right? We're not seeing it right now, but that put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, because we know what it is. Nobody can tell anybody differently that there is feminization with the black male when it comes to entertainment. Nobody can tell you that, especially when it comes to movies. Now, hip hop, on the hip hop side, you got Ice Cube, Ice-T, LL Cool J. Those are rappers that got into their profession before they crossed into film. So, you haven't really seen that with them like that. But if you're an actor coming up, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, and you don't have any backing and they make you, they have a thing. And it feels like what Denzel is going through is what I call a Hollywood exit ritual, because he's been talking about stuff that has kind of been, damaging. It's kind of been indifferent to his character, right? Let me show you all not just the thing where he was talking about the kissing the guy. This is another thing that happened today that I've seen. Let me share my screen with you. All right, so Denzel, it says Denzel Washington, wine was my thing for 15 years, but I could have been clean for a decade, right? So he opened up about his alcohol. I'm sorry for that ad, y'all, but his alcohol addiction and drug abuse, right? He's getting real about his battle with alcohol, admitting his wine consumption ravaged his body. All right. Let's see. He said Denzel said it started in earnest in 1999 when he constructed a 10,000 bottle wine cellar in his house, which only served to enhance his booze intake. He goes up $4,000 worth of wine, bottles of wine. Goodness gracious. And he said that this would be damaging to his body. And I'm trying to see where he was talking about the drugs. He said the good news is that he never got strung out on heroin or cocaine, but he confessed to shooting dope, although he never got hooked. All right. But he's been 10 years sober. So he confessed to shooting dope, right? Now, this is the thing, man, that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because they just like, no, not Denzel. Drugs, alcohol. Now, this is the reality, folks. He's in Hollywood, so I'm not surprised by that. Everybody has a vice, man. Just about everybody you could think of has a vice. They're just not telling you. Some people are functioning alcoholics. Some people are functioning drug addicts, and they're going through abuse. You never know what people are going through. So this is not a judgment zone at all. But it's weird that it's happening all right now as Denzel announces that he's kind of slowing up on movies and is going to retire pretty soon. So it's like you went through your whole career without any scandals, any mess, any controversy that I can remember. Now he's been acting before I was born. I don't know, but you've known Denzel to have his wife, have his children. You've never heard of any like outside kids that he had, any cheating on his wife, any alcohol abuse, drug abuse. You haven't heard none of that until now. And it's funny that he announced that he's going to retire soon. And as soon as that happens, now he's opening up about the drugs, about the alcohol. He's open to doing a role where he's kissing another man. How come he wasn't offered any of this before? Did he decline it? Is this a way of them saying, hey, to push the agenda? And you know what agenda I'm talking about. To help push this agenda, we need one of the most famous Black acting men of all time to admit that he did something moist on camera. Now, I know, of course, it's a part of the character, but it's funny. All this is happening right now, right when he's leaving. So it's like, we ain't gonna let you get away that clean. Not that easy. So do you want us to bring up anything that's controversial that can, really damage your character? Or do you want to do this little thing on the side? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want to do this buck breaking thing? And Denzel could be like, hey, I don't want none of that. I'll just go ahead and do this for the film. Thank God they didn't keep it in the film because I don't think, and think about this. I'm talking to you ladies, right? Old and young. What were y'all talking about all in the 90s? All in the 90s, all these women, they're like Denzel was a heartthrob. Denzel was that heartthrob, grown, mature man in the 90s, going into the 2000s. All women had a crush on Denzel. He was a sex symbol. Denzel Washington was this big sex symbol that all women wanted. All women wanted. And he was able, I'm talking about like all those sitcoms and movies. Oh, you need to be Denzel fine. All this. Pam on Martin used to be like, oh, Denzel. So he's always been that Black iconic sex symbol, through his whole career. But now a lot of women feel bad because they got to picture him kissing another man. They envision him being in the bed with them, going out on dates with them, all this stuff. So it was a big letdown. And it goes to show you that no Black man is going to walk away with a clean record or have to do anything that isn't dealing with moist behavior. And not knocking anybody's community or nothing like that, but it's like, why is that a thing? And we know what breaking is. We know what buck breaking is. Buck breaking, that's just showing you that the white power structure is over you and feminizing the Black man. That's all buck breaking is, feminization. Now, it doesn't have to be physically, right? But it could be anything from you putting on a dress. And when I say physically, meaning like a sexual encounter or something like that. But it doesn't have to be like that. It could be something like insinuating that you played a gay role or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard Tariq Nasheed talk about this, like the Bernie Mac character. Did Bernie Mac do anything? Did he play anything or do anything sexual with a man on camera? Nah, but he played a openly gay character in the movie Life, right? So they'll find ways to kind of, put that in there. You know what I'm saying? Kind of sketch that in there to kind of, switch things up. And if you go against it, your career could be ruined. You remember what happened on what's that movie, The Shy? I forgot that character's name, but there was a transgender that was gonna be on the show, or it ended up being on the show, and they told him, hey, your character has to be in there. You got to do sexual scenes and kissing scenes, intimate scenes, and all this other stuff. And he bounced. And then Luke James came in and took the role, and they made him do a lot of stuff, a lot of intimacy with that particular transgender actor. And you know, it is what it is. But you know, it happens like that when it comes to the black actors. And Denzel is this profound black man that everybody looked up to, every woman had crushed over. And now it comes to this as he's exiting. Now, this is the other side, you know, as far as him coming out opening up about his alcohol abuse. It could be the fact that look, he's turning 70. He ain't got nothing to lose. And I know when men and women turn, you know, they get in their 70s and get into their senior citizen years, you stop giving a damn after a while. You just open it up like, hey, you know, it is what it is. And ain't nobody judging them for that. So that could be a thing. You getting to be older, you know, and you just, you know, it is what it is with that. But yeah, it's just it's crazy. But it almost like with this stuff that's coming out that's controversial with him, it feels like it's some type of Hollywood exit ritual. You know, you always hear about that stuff, you know, the Illuminati stuff, all the rituals and stuff like that. But it's like, how come when this movie Gladiator 2 is coming out, are we hearing nothing but controversy behind Denzel in this? It's nothing but controversy. It's not really anything, or maybe that's just the hottest things that's getting the headlines. Of course, you know, oh, Denzel kissed a man, and oh, Denzel shot up dope. You know what I'm saying? So of course that's going to be controversy, but that is overweighing the attention of the movie, because I'm not hearing people say they want to go see the movie, even though I'm quite sure to do well. I heard good reviews about it, but that is at the forefront. Denzel's negativity, that's at the forefront, and not the actual movie. So it feels like, okay, if you're sounding off on your retirement, you're going to be retiring. So now we have to give you this Hollywood exit ritual. All this bad stuff is being talked about, or what people can consider negative. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging, but from kissing the man on camera that we haven't seen, but he had to announce it, and him talking about how he used to shoot up dope and the alcohol abuse, all the wine he was drinking and stuff like that, but he's been sober for 10 years. We got to learn all about that now. At the same time, he's announcing that he's slowing down and he's on his way to retirement, right? So y'all let me know in the comments what you think about that. Also, I wanted to play something Aries Spears had said that kind of rattled my cages a little bit. Listen to this. Now, Aries Spears, I rock with Aries Spears on some of the stuff he does, but listen to what he said about the whole Denzel thing. Fair use, by the way, fair use.
And you know, it's funny. I had to set out this post because I just couldn't wait to hear the reaction. So Denzel says that in Gladiator, he kissed the dude. And it's something about the context of it was that it was a kiss of death. And he kissed the guy on the forehead, but then he says in the interview, and then I full on, it was on the lips. And I sent out the post and I went, okay, so I need to know now, since all of y'all seem to message, dear black men, since you say that comedians and black men and be in dresses and they've gone through a ritual and you lose respect for them. So now the mighty Denzel Washington.
Oh, yeah, the mighty Denzel. That's right.
Who, anytime y'all talk about black actors in dresses, y'all always bring up our hero, the iconic Denzel, has never put on a dress, never did no gay.
Y'all remember what I was saying earlier? This is how black people have regarded Denzel, you know?
Well, from his own mouth to someone else's mouth, he kissed the dude. Are we canceling Denzel now?
No, because that's
Now, this is the thing. Nobody ever said that they would cancel anybody for putting on a dress, playing a gay role, anything like that, right? We said that we don't appreciate it and don't understand why black men have to go through that in order to be successful in Hollywood. But I never heard anybody talk about canceling anybody for doing that. Aries Spears is upset still because he played a little gay role and kissed the dude on the mouth. And it was a comedic piece, but people called him out for it, and he was calling us homophobic and stuff. But keep listening.
The moment of like the script and
the time, it's a period piece, and at that time,
yeah, and it's the kiss of death. That's what you would have done. That isn't a moment of like of passion. That's a moment, maybe a passion, but of like, you're done. That is like, I'm kissing you goodbye.
But somebody also said in the comments, you know, in those days in the Roman, homosexual, it was like that was a thing,
Well,
a real thing.
yeah, but that wasn't from what you're saying. I don't know the part in, but that isn't the intent. The intent is goodbye.
Either way,
Yeah.
And of course, it was a period piece, and that was going on back then during the Roman Empire.
That's what it was for the time. And Denzel is a classically trained
actor,
thespian who goes all the way.
Yeah.
So just for the record, I have no problem with it because I get it. It's if you're an actor and you are supposed to do your job as an actor and dive in 1,000% to what the time is, what the moment is, the context, the character, you're acting. And I'm gonna say this.
And see, this is where I'm about to get upset with Aries Spears. Listen to this.
To all these black men, man, grow the up, man. Grow this homophobe. It reminds me of Bill Burr on Breakfast Club when he says to Charlamagne, when are black people, when are your community going to let go of this homophobia?
All right, let me stop right there. Okay, so Aries Spears, to label us as homophobic because we're not comfortable with seeing what that is and we're not agreeing with it, don't call the black community or black men homophobic. You know what I'm saying? You have the freedom to do what you want to do, but it's not homophobia if you don't want to see intimacy between the same sex. You know what I'm saying? That's not homophobia. That's just something that you just don't want to see. Homophobia or phobia means that you're afraid of that. You're afraid to see that. That's fearful of you. That's not the case. In this situation, and we're talking about these black men who might be forced to participate in those particular acts that they don't want to do, but to get the money, they're going to do it. Opposed to them wanting to do something like that, wanting to play a gay character, wanting to put on a dress, all of that. We've heard what Dave Chappelle had said about the Chappelle show and how they wanted to put him in a dress and all this other stuff. He said that. I think he said that on Oprah. So if you're hearing people say this and what they made them do, yeah, it ain't no cancel homophobia thing. It's just criticism. And it's not criticism of the black male, the black actor, is criticism of Hollywood and the agenda. So don't get it twisted. So Aries Spears, you can have several seats with that. I like watching some of your interviews on Vlad TV, but that wasn't it. That wasn't it right there. Stop using that loose term. That's what that particular community does when we don't agree with something. If we don't agree with something, that does not make it homophobia or us homophobic. So cut that out. But y'all let me know in the comments what you think about that, man. Denzel, is this some type of embarrassment strategy? Because we're gonna let you walk away, but you got to have something on you that people are gonna look down at or people are gonna be let down with. And I ain't gonna lie, I was let down with it. I was like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Because he was that one you could point to and be like, he didn't have to do all that, but now it's different. But y'all let me know in the comments what you think about that. Let me move